motor for a 2000 Dodge Grand Caravan. To replace this, what you have is there's two plastic straps, one here and one on the other side, that you'll have to take out. These are, and this is from 2000, so it's 14 years old, so these can be kind of brittle, so you have to be careful. You're gonna push in, you can reach around the back and the clip will come out. And remove the glove box. Now I have the glove box off. I can get in at my fan down below. I turn my motor on here, so I have it on high, and nothing's happening, so it gives me, I thought it could be the resistor, but then when I bang on my motor, the motor starts. You can hear it when I turn it down a notch. It's still running. So the motor's running on all of them, it's just barely running. So it's not the resistor, it's gonna be the blower motor. So I'm gonna remove this blower motor and then I will get a new one. I know it's working on all the speed settings. So the high, medium, low, they're all working. Just light up here. They're all working. If I was to have the car going and some of the speeds weren't working, so let's say it didn't work until I got it up to high, then I would have a resistor issue. And if I needed to replace my resistor on the 2000 Dodge Grand Caravan, that resistor is right up in here. You can see it right there. So if you just open up your hood and look there, it's up towards the top behind the glove box. In this instance, that is not the issue. Remove these bolts and I'll end up taking the bottom of this lower fan cover off. And I'm using a 5/16 socket here. Now that I've removed those four bolts, I'll remove the base. There's 3 bolts up here that I'm gonna have to remove from the blower motor. And now that I've removed my last bolt from the blower motor, there was a rubber stop right here. I just took my screwdriver and I just pushed on that rubber and pushed it through. And now my motor has dropped free, so I can have access to this thing. And that little black seat does pop through there as well. Now I've got this motor out, I've wired it up. When I turn the motor on, nothing happens. Do a little tap. But I have the issue if I don't turn it on full speed right away. It doesn't have enough power to get going and it's loud. Here's a new motor that I got from NAPA. This one also has the rubber stopper and connection is the same. The wire is considerably thinner. I had a choice of getting a used one on eBay, and these are about 14 years old, so it's used, and it was 35 bucks. Shipped to my door. And I just paid, I think, $120 for this new one. Wires are thinner. It's gonna have, I'm assuming, a weaker motor that's gonna be running this compared to a factory. And so that's through now. So I can choose to either, I'm gonna connect this after. To install on mine, you can see this part that angles way up, so it spins all the way around here. It's flat. But then you'll see it comes straight up here. On mine, that's the part that's in towards the vehicle. So I'll have to put that in straight up. Just the added thickness of my floor mat was actually getting in the way of putting this back up and in, so I took my floor mat out. Now that I have this partially in, I'll pull that rubber stopper so I get that up and through this hole. I'll make sure that this is towards the front. And I'll slide this blower motor up and into place and screw that in. I push this through, and then these actually on this one, the wires slide in and out considerably easier. Now I have the motor put in place. There's the 3 screws that hold it in, one here, one up here, and one over here. So I've tightened those down. Don't tighten it too tight, it's all held in by plastic so you don't crack or break anything. Push this through, just to make sure and it's together. I'll start it up, make sure it's working before I put everything back together, just in case something's faulty so I don't have to undo everything. Now that the car is on, I'll turn the blower motor on. So that's working. Here's the stuff from up in my dash. Now that I know it's working, I'll test all the speeds. So this is good, so I'll turn it off and I'll screw everything back in. Next, I'm putting my cover back on. I wanted to make sure that you knew that there's a little lip right here. Make sure you get that little lip put on, and that will make the rest of the cover go on easily. I was putting the rest of it on over here, and then trying to mess with that lip, and then that was causing some issues. So put that little lip there, you can see it right there. Get that piece on before you get the rest of it on. I did have some issues with this last bolt right here. It's really close up to the side. I used device grips just to get it started. Once I had it most of the way on, then I just finished tightening it up with my socket. After all of my bolts are in place, I'll put my glove box back in. So I'm starting here. I'm going to put the end piece in. I'll get this behind there and I'll pull this one forward. Push that back down. So now that's there. Now that my tabs are in place, my glove box is in. I can put my stuff in there, turn it on, and I'm good to go. That's it.